Peace, chiefs, and dears. Is Bronzebird here with another video. Before I begin, like and subscribe. And make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can stay updated on any future videos or panels. So today is going to be an easy conversation about this whole entire tragedy, in which I believe is more or less the concept of dishonor thy father, in which I want to detail an event that happened between two girls who are seem to be social media influencers, in which a deadly situation happened between these two girls and their father, which wind up having the father being killed in a shootout, and which now, after the fact, the women had to come to grips with the whole entire result of the situation, them trying to put up a GoFundMe campaign for their father's funeral. And reportedly, it's been said that I had learned from someone else that I had listened to that it was a protection. They wanted to speak on the behalf of one of their boyfriends who might have been involved in a shooting or something, or proclaim his innocence, that is. I'm not really familiar with the story too much because I just did a little bit of light research before I came into this topic. But usually things like this, I don't really get surprised about, not because I'm trying to be cynical, but because I start to have an understanding that this society on average is trying to plant in the mindset of dishonoring thy father, dishonoring the man, dishonoring the head of this society in order to make it more vitriol in which the woman wants to have control over the man, even if that is geared towards the daughter versus her father. Now, in this picture right here, if their mother is in their life, which, and we have the stereotype of the so-called Black community, or what seems to be the reality of the so-called Black community, that usually the father is not in the home. They're being raised by their mothers. Now, in this picture right here, it's a complete disgrace. Everything about them says horrorism to the max in 2021. The revealing outfits, which I would probably gear towards the idea that they have an infatuation or a taste for vanity, greed, the tattoos, the fake hair, the fake eyelashes, the fake nails, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to read this article real quick just so I can give myself and give you guys a background story if you don't know about this yet. And I'm going to give also my perspectives on my take on the situation in general, and we can end it off from there. So shout outs to Black Sports Online for this article. Boyfriend of one of TikTok stars' famous twins shot and killed their father over argument over twerking and 500K. A horrible chain of events started down in Mobile, Alabama, when the TikTok stars, the famous twins, who are known for twerking, were confronted by their father, who did not approve of what they were doing. This is when things became deadly. And I already know what my opinion on that is going to be. The woman the woman at large adheres to drama to the point that she wants to honor another man before she honors her actual father, or she treats the boyfriend as her father before treating her actual biological dad as her father, because merely in this situation, the boyfriend would be an enabler for her whorish actions and the way that she moves, and that she doesn't want to have any repercussions or be taught well and be taught self-dignity and respect. She would rather be taught or be enabled to do whatever it is that she wants to do. So it says, Police Chief Roy Hodge said the first shootings occurred at about 10:40 p.m. in the 500 block of Williams Street, with an argument that a man named James Walters was having with his two daughters who lived at the address. As the shouting escalated, another man police would not identify tried to intervene. That's when the scene turned deadly. Police said Walters ran towards the other man. The preliminary investigation indicates Mr. Walters produced a firearm. He said the other individual produced his firearm and shot Mr. Walters in what appears to be self-defense based on the information that we have so far. The story gets worse. Boyfriend of the innocent woman that was accidentally shot, D'Angelo Merrill, later on went to the famous twins' apartment building looking for revenge. But according to interim police chief Ray Hodge, he got revenge on the wrong person. Merrill went back to the apartment complex, kicked down the wrong door, and fatally shot James Jones, a 74-year-old man. And with that being said, this whole entire conversation, this whole entire situation is, now the women have to pay for that. The fact of the matter that their dad has been sacrificed from their lewdish actions, and the fact of the matter this was an argument that went way left just because these women wanted to be rebellious against their own father and felt as if whatever they was doing did not disturb them in any way, shape, or form, and that they're following the whole program. The thing about it is, stories like this is of course sad, but it gives into the reality of a lot of these modern day women and modern day men as well, because a lot of these modern day men do not want to see the woman in her proper form. They want to see her as a prostitute. They want to see her as a whore. And the thing about it is, these men will never say anything because they enjoy it, because they anticipate sex out of it, or they just want something for their actual gaze as a man. And a large majority of men do not want to look for an appropriate woman. That's why when they have all these talks about traditional women and women need to have respect for themselves, a lot of them is just talking hot air. Or the men in particular don't care for that shit, to really be honest with you. Now, my whole entire concept, or the way that I feel about the situation in general between the twins and their father, my thing about it is that they should have listened to what their dad was saying, but I guess because they was getting money off of it, they have something they're able to use as an alibi for a reason why they still want to do it. So the thing about it is, they can be as disrespectful, as loud and boisterous, and as, pleasantly disrespectful as they want towards their father, because there is a reward for their actions. So for someone to give him the beaming light in reality that he doesn't like it himself, they don't want to listen to that. And the thing about it is, it's a very sad story, because too many times these women want to find a reason to keep doing what they're doing. And I did a little bit of research on the famous twins before I did this video. They also, not only do they have the twerking videos online as usual, also besides them, it's been found that they have death threats and all these different things. And then just the concept of, they also did a song. I believe they did about 2-3 songs, and their songs is pitching the whole entire narcissisticness in this society, them talking about bees this and bees that, these bitches could never, and all the negative stuff that you usually hear in modern day music. And all I have to say to it is, it's sad. It's sad, but this is a point of why it is important for men to understand that they are trying to disembark the idea of masculinity and authority from the man. That the woman wants to be naturally rebellious against the man and compete with the man, even on his talking points, and even if it's about self-dignity and respect. Now, my thing about it is, I don't know if the father didn't know anything about this. He had to. But if he didn't know anything about it and he just decided to speak to his daughters about it, I don't blame him for that. And actually, he should be commended for regulating his daughters into saying what they're doing is a bad thing. But the thing about it is, once a woman's mind is made up, you can't change it, because they don't see the harm in what they're doing. They see it as innocent. They just feel as if they can shake their ass whenever they want to. They can go ahead on TikTok and do all these whorish things, and there's no repercussions. And as long as their enabler, this case the boyfriend, is able to let them do what they want to do, they don't see no problem with it. That's what this really comes down to. And all of this could have been avoided if the women would have just listened to their dad. But of course, they didn't want to. They wanted to argue. They wanted to be naturally rebellious, as a lot of these modern day women are, towards their own father. And it got them into being 6 feet deep over a misunderstanding or just a mishap or just a regularly produced argument where, men are getting fed up with the whole entire whore program that's happening with women. Cost him his life. And these women have to live with that for the rest of their days because they just want to do all these twerking things. Now let them sit back and think about that. Peace.